Home wherein Yashwant Verma moves Supreme Court against the in-house inquiry report. Justice Verma files writ petition in the Supreme Court challenging the three-judge in-house inquiry report against him. Justice Verma seeks to quash the findings of the in-house inquiry panel against him. Justice Verma says, and we have in fact picked this up as well, committee's proceedings as having infringed his rights both as an individual and as a constitutional functionary. Plea seeks to set aside the report by a three-judge inquiry panel, which found strong inferential evidence against him. Now, Justice Verma also asks to quash the impeachment recommendation by the Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna. The recommendation to initiate impeachment against him was based on the committee's findings. There was a report, a detailed report that had been submitted in the Cash Hall case against Justice Verma itself. Justice Verma alleges breach of principles of natural justice, says the inquiry panel did not give him a fair hearing. Justice Verma also says that the committee concluded the proceedings without investigating key facts. Justice Verma says, and I quote, inquiring committee erroneously shifted the burden of proof on him, requiring him to disprove a fact that the committee presumed prima facie to be true. This is the big information, big breaking that we're bringing to you at this point. And right now we have Nalini Sharma joining us on the broadcast to bring us more details. Nalini, very good morning to you. Big breaking that's coming in at this point that we're picking up in the Kashmir Hall case that we had been in fact tracking for the longest time. Justice Verma now comes out to allege that he was not given a fair hearing. Based on all that's developed so far, how are we looking at this and what are we picking up?
Well, sure, this is Justice Verma's defense right from the very beginning. Since the time that the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court had reached out to him, he had categorically denied having any involvement with that alleged cash that was found in this outhouse. Now, the latest development is that he has now filed a writ petition in the Supreme Court. He said that the findings of the inquiry committee have adversely impacted his rights, not only as a citizen of India, but also as a constitutional functionary, because he still is a sitting High Court judge of the Allahabad High Court. He also says that the inquiry report, the three-judge inquiry panel that was set up by the then Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, that report should be set aside because it had worked on a prejudged objective and it had swiftly concluded the proceedings without giving him a fair chance of the hearing. He's also said that he was not given a chance to cross-examine the other witnesses who had appeared before the committee, which is why it's a violation of principles of natural justice, because it was not a fair inquiry. And on the basis of this inquiry report, the then Chief Justice of India, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, had recommended to the Parliament that an impeachment motion might be considered. So he's also asked for that recommendation to be quashed. Now it remains to be seen that how early this matter is taken up, because that will be a decision taken up by the Chief Justice of India, Justice B.R. Gavai, who is the current CJI. So he will decide which bench will hear the matter and how early this matter is going to be taken up. But we can confirm right now that a petition has been moved. He's challenged the inquiry committee report. He's also challenged the impeachment recommendation. And it remains to be seen now how things develop on a judicial side, because till now the Supreme Court has been dealing with this issue only on the administrative side through setting up the in-house inquiry. Sure.
Right. Nalini, when we look at the impeachment recommendation that had come in from former Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna himself, it's a complicated process for sure to be impeaching a judge at this point. But let's also understand from this very petition that's been submitted, or rather filed by Yashwant Verma himself, are we to look at a situation which complicates the entire procedure further, or rather even influences the very impeachment recommendation that had come in?
So, Shreya, there's no doubt about the fact that this is very strategically timed. And remember the fact that ever since this entire controversy has broken out, Justice Verma has constantly been seeking legal advice. So he's been on top of things since the time this entire issue has happened. In fact, the entire reason why he is not resigned is so that it's a strategic decision, so that the constitutional immunity that he enjoys as a sitting High Court judge, that is not lost. So it is very strategically timed because it's coming right ahead of the monsoon session of the Parliament, which is going to be a 1-month-long session, during which it was expected that the impeachment motion against him will be initiated. In fact, just in the recent past, we'd also confirmed the news about how the government had reached out to multiple political parties because it was important to bring all the political parties on one page. It was important to have common consensus to ensure that the impeachment motion successfully passes through the parliament. Now, of course, the procedure in the parliament itself is going to be long, but this can also be very interestingly viewed from that lens, because it remains to be seen how this petition now in the Supreme Court is going to
Right.
impact the proceedings that were expected in the parliament during the monsoon session. Like I said, it will all depend on the current Chief Justice of India, Justice B.R. Gavai, and how early he agrees to take up this petition for hearing.
Very true, Nalini. Thank you for bringing us all those details into this very story. We will keep a close track of how things proceed from here.